You are listening to the Knightline Sports Network, brought to you by Travis Dever and the Dever team, 386-690-1636.
Welcome to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Night Nation's only call-in show goes live now.
All right. Hello, Night Nation. Hello, Orlando. This is Andrew Phegley, and this is Knightline at Night. We're live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barlaw, assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. You can call Travis Dever for all your new Smyrna Beach real estate needs as well, 386-690-1636, or you can call us. You can call those guys, but you can also call us. Call those guys, but then call us as well. All right, anyway, taking your calls, 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326. We would love to hear from a couple of different I want to hear from any Auburn fans. If there's Auburn fans out here that have dislike for Gus Malzahn or like for Gus Malzahn, I would really like to hear from you in particular. I want to hear what you think of what's going on here. Anyway, you can also use the open mic feature in the WDBO app. Once again, I'm Andrew Phegley, AP_Knightline on Twitter. Got Big Ben Stout here with me at BigSocial32 on Twitter. Roger Phipps at Night Bengal on Twitter from the Santa Rosa Beach studios. And you can find all the rest of our content on NightlineSports.com. Okay.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 34-30 loss. 30-34 loss, actually. UCF loses to the Navy midshipmen. When Navy does their thing, this is the thing that everybody needs to realize. I know there's a lot of UCF fans right now that are sitting at the edge of the building or the bridge or whatever. The cliff. We don't have a lot of cliffs in Florida, so that's why I use bridges and buildings, because that's really all you could jump off of here. It's really not all that. You don't need to do that. This is not the end of everything. Yes, we obviously have some issues. We missed a lot of starters. We had a freshman quarterback. I could make all the excuses, because we have a lot of them. We had a lot of excuses for this, but it doesn't come down to all excuses. When Navy does their thing, they're the best at it that there is.
Yeah.
I mean, period. Two teams really in the entire college football realm of college football do this offense.
That's right.
And Army doesn't do it as much as they do, because they're the other one, but they pass the ball a little bit more. Georgia Tech used to do it. They don't do it anymore. Right. So Navy is the only team that really, and Army, that do this. And it's hard to defend. That's why they do it.
It's really hard to prepare for. It's really hard.
It's one of the reasons.
It's just really, really difficult. You're right. You only see it ever so often.
Yeah, this is not like the end of the freaking world for UCF. It's just not. And there's a lot of people, fire Gus Malzahn. Are you crazy? No.
It's wild.
It's stupid is what it is. Yeah. It's stupid. So we need to stop with that stuff. Our fan base looks so horrible on Twitter and Facebook and everything else, because they just go off the freaking handle every time something crazy happens. We were missing 6 starters. Yeah. What do you expect?
Yeah, our starting quarterback, our starting running back, our number one wide receiver,
and a bunch of other guys,
and then other guys on defense that we really need as well.
Roger, jump in here too as well if you want.
Well, I mean, for me, it's not even necessarily about that. It's just about mistakes. We played well enough to win the game. At the end of the day, to your point about Navy, they're a time of possession team, right? And they're going to wear you down.
And they did it to perfection.
Yeah, they
40
had
to
40
20.
minutes of time of possession. But what that does is it limits your ability to make mistakes. And in the first half, we didn't make many mistakes. But then we started doing things like getting blocked kicks or punt or, Brandon Johnson catching a ball and falling to the ground. And as he was falling to the ground, somebody managed to pop it out and we had an untimely turnover.
Just like
right?
we did twice to them. I mean, it's
Right.
just, it just happens.
I mean,
So
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say it. So if it's a possession game, right, then you have a limited amount of chances to score. We did score, but when you lose one or two of those possessions, since they're using all 4 downs and being able to run the ball like they are and eat up that time of possession, if you make a few mistakes, you're going to pay for it.
They ran the ball 76 times for an average of 4.6. 348 yards rushing. They threw it twice. Well, 4 times. 4 times. And they made 2 of them.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I'd like to, look at a few bad things and then a couple bright spots.
Go ahead.
And we a few bad things. I mean, I think the true momentum killers in the game, as Roger mentioned, we had a block punt in the second quarter that I think really, and they scored a touchdown right off of it. That really killed our momentum. I mean, I know we were punting away, but we hold them to 3 and out there. You never know what can happen. We could really take control of the game. We were up by 10 at that point, and then all of a sudden it's a 3-point game. And then, of course, the fumble in the fourth quarter that really hurt us. So it was just some missed opportunities there. Sideline to sideline, I think it was just difficult to keep up with some of the blocking scheme that they had in that triple option, and they really carved us up, especially on the edge. So those are the things that we really struggled with. A couple of bright spots. I'll say right now, I thought our freshman quarterback played excellent in this game, and I also think that Gus Malzahn's game plan, from an offensive standpoint, was good for bringing him in first start on the road. He's 18 years old, and I thought he executed that game plan fairly well. He made some throws, especially the one to the sideline of the fourth quarter that was right over the cornerback's head, like in a soft zone. That was beautiful. He made some great throws. And then the last bright spot that I'll talk about, which we're going to get into a little bit, is Bryson Armstrong just played his tail off.
Machine.
He played unbelievable. 22 tackles, 1 short of the UCF record. He reminded me a lot of Atari Bigby, if you're kind of an old school UCF fan, that just seemed to be involved and right there on every play. So
yeah, I want him to play like that the rest of the season, and I hope that he does, because he can be a huge part of our offense, and this is what we knew that he could do. He came from the FCS and did this the entire time.
2-time a conference player of the year for him. Yeah,
so,
in FCS.
So I mean, he did an incredible job, and he obviously was familiar with that offense because I guess his high school team, ran that offense or whatever in high school. Some high schools run it. Navy's the only college one, and Army really that do it, the service academies. But going back to Mikey Keene, though, I think he did a great job. He has a little bit of a weird throwing motion, but it works.
Yeah.
He made throws.
His windup is long.
It is, but I mean, it works for him. I mean, I don't think that maybe later on they go and work on that throwing motion or something. But if it works, I mean, you've seen in the last couple of years, even in pro football, they don't really work on people's throwing motion that much anymore. Look at Patrick Mahomes.
And it looked like from his high school tape, I didn't really see a long windup like that. So I think it's just, maybe it comes and goes. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But he made throws. He made throws that Dylan Gabriel can make.
He looked very poised doing
exactly.
it, too. Yeah.
He did not panic. You never saw him out there looking like a deer in the headlights. That's what you really want to see. If this had to go down this way, where we lost the game, the bright spot of the entire thing was the way that Mikey Keene handled himself on the field.
Yeah.
I
mentioned 2 weeks ago. Now it's
through the one interception.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mentioned 2 weeks ago, and it's a totally different situation, but I remember that Maryland game when KZ came in as a freshman for the first time. Obviously, everybody remembers the fumbles, and we remembers that we almost won, but we didn't win. But I remember thinking, this guy is going to be great in the future. He really is built up. And again, I'm not going to say that he's going to go on to be the next KZ. No. But by the same token, that's what I felt like watching that game. He had the ball in his hands, 3 minutes left in the game on the road. Your first start, 18-year-old, and you're down by 4 points, so you need a touchdown. And he looked poised that entire drive.
Playing in a hallowed ground of football as well. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Navy, and they haven't been great this year, blah, blah, blah. That is still a football place. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's just great things have happened in that stadium. That's a big deal when you go into places like that. I haven't played there, but I've played in stadiums where, as a player, you're in awe. Yeah. I'm sure you've played in basketball arenas.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Yeah. You go there and you're just the place just is a big deal for even to be playing there. So for him to be playing his first collegiate game in that kind of a place against this kind of a team, he is, his mind has to be very solid to be able to do that. So did throw the one interception, but
last play of the game.
Play of the game.
Fourth down.
You do what you can. He had to throw it exactly.
Yeah.
We obviously missed Bowser, probably worse than anything else. Because, Coach Malzahn said this actually about it after the game.
He's an NFL running back. We don't have him, but like I said, it doesn't matter. With the guys we had, we got to get it done. And we got some real quality running backs, and we kind of did it by committee. And I thought Johnny made some real explosive runs, and the other guys I thought did a solid job. But that's the good thing is they're getting experience, and we'll continue to grow.
Really, the first part of that is what I was referring to. Obviously, the rest of it, but he is an NFL-style running back. Yeah. He's that guy that you can count on, and he's won games for us this year. Yeah. So you've got to find that next guy. I mean, Johnny Richardson, that's fine, but he's a small dude, and he's not the same kind of running back. So maybe they need to get Coles going a little bit more or something. I don't know. Orbowski actually was a good thing of this game in this game.
Finally got his first field goal.
Got his first field goal for this year. Got our first field goal for this year. But he took off running with it that time. Didn't look horrible.
It looked fine.
That's another thing that I want to say is I like what Gus was trying to do. I like the crazy stuff that he was doing because you have to do stuff like that, especially against a team like Navy.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, not to flip that to a negative. I agree with what you just said. I think it was maybe one wide receiver sweep too many. I think that play, the second to last play of the game,
the one that really did not work out.
Yeah,
is the one that you could say.
Yeah, it was just a tough one. But I agree with you. The other sweeps were awesome. The one that led to a touchdown, I think it was Ryan O'Keefe or maybe it was Amari Johnson or something. But it's still, he had some great play calls in that game.
I love the trickery stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just. Obviously, they had worked on that fake field goal for quite a while, but they did it with perfection. If he would have gone into the end zone, it would have totally been
nice.
Perfect.
Little flip by the holder too.
Yeah, to flip it up like that over your head. It's not an easy thing to do that correctly every time. And I mean, the guy's running behind you. So, yeah. Anyway. Lots of good stuff, but good stuff and bad stuff. We can talk the rest of the show about good stuff and bad stuff in here. I got more clips. We're going to do that. And we're going to talk about next week's game because, we need to go on as well. Right. So we're going to get to all that stuff coming up here. Brandon Johnson, with the two touchdowns that he had, he did have the one fumble, and I guarantee you that he holds on to the ball for the rest of the season a little bit better than that because that was just dumb. He admits it. I have the clip here.
Exactly.
We'll play that later. We'll talk about all kinds of stuff. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be right back on Knightline at Night talking about UCF football.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chad Barr Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chad Barr Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices Altamont Springs.
Hey, this is Travis Dever, Kai's Real Estate, the Dever team, New Smyrna Beach. Your source for real estate and everything else, New Smyrna Beach. Proud sponsor of Knightline. Call me anytime at 386-690-1636. That's 386-690-1636. Let me show you my hometown, New Smyrna Beach, UCF's favorite beach. Go Knights and charge on.
Looking for more out of your Porsche? Look no further than Flat6Motorsports.com. They have the widest selection of aftermarket Porsche parts anywhere in the world. With over 85 product lines and in-depth expertise, Flat6Motorsports.com is your one-stop shop for any Porsche performance needs. Whether you're shopping for intakes, exhausts, suspension, or tuning, they have you covered. Flat6Motorsports.com is the premier Porsche aftermarket specialist. Check them out at Flat6Motorsports.com.
And now, back to Nightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, Andrew Phegley back with you here on Nightline at Night, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barr Law. We're talking about UCF football. 30-34 loss to the Navy midshipmen yesterday. Missing a bunch of people, but we're not missing guys in here. I got Ben Stout and Roger Phipps, by the way, with us. So, yeah,
on the injured reserve list, like half the football team.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's another thing, I guess. That's another positive we can take. I didn't see too many guys go down in this game.
We did not lose anybody in this game. No.
Yeah. Well, that's
true.
That's a positive. You got to take
healthy.
every positive that you can, especially stuff like that, because right now we are super banged up. Hopefully, we were talking about Bowser before. Hopefully he can come back. He's had knee problems the entire time of his career. That is what it has been the entire time, and that's what he's got going on again. He was hit low in that game, or hit kind of weird from the side or whatever, and it totally messed up his knee. So,
yeah, in the Louisville game. Yep.
Louisville game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Dylan Gabriel also obviously out because of that broken collarbone, and who knows if we'll see him again this year. Probably not. But Mikey Keene, I can't wait for this week, to be honest with you, for Mikey Keene to have a little bit more of a, I don't know. I just think it's going to be a little different for him. It'll be at home, and a little bit, I don't know. I don't think ECU's defense is going to be quite what.
And it's a normal opponent too, right? Like it's not like it's just a little. Their offense is kind of more normalized, so hopefully our defense can kind of give him the ball and give him extra possessions.
Can I throw a little maybe rain on this parade?
Sure.
Please do. We were looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, they listen. They have their big thing with Holton Ahlers is, yes, he can throw the long ball, but he's a good size.
He's a big guy,
running quarterback. He's like 6'5" or something like that. And guess where he likes to go at the edges.
We destroyed him the last time we played them.
I know,
destroyed
but the
him.
previous two times he played well against us. And the other thing that they've got right now is a running back with over 600 yards. They had 222 yards against. He had 222 yards against Tulane, which is a pretty good Tulane team this year. So, again, the challenge for this week, in my mind, is not so much the vertical passing game, but making sure that we can contain the edge. And that's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Okay. Well, I was specifically talking about Mikey Keene, I think, and having a little bit of an easier go against ECU's defense.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you were throwing something in about their defense. I think that he's going to have a little bit better of a game, even, that he had here. It'll be a little bit more of a normal game for him to play in. So
maybe Gus can open up the playbook a little bit for him. I mean, I think he was setting up with a lot of runs to kind of take the pressure off of him, and I hopefully he can get more rhythm throws in there. And so yeah, we'll see. So
one of the things that I wanted to kind of hit on here, and we don't have very much time here before we have to take a break, but what do you guys think of the situation where Joey Gatewood comes in and spells Mikey Keene for a couple plays? What's your, Ben, since you're sitting right next to me, what's your opinion on that? I know that there's a lot of opinion about this.
Yeah, I think he averaged about 5 yards a rush. So, I mean, I think it was used smartly at times, and other times it kind of felt like, especially after, I think there was at one time in particular that I think Mikey had a really good, a really good throw, and it was a completion, and then the next play, once they set up, all of a sudden Gatewood was back in there. It's kind of strange to see it in the middle of a drive. I was thinking more it would be like a package for him that would be in there for like 4 or 5 plays at a time, and then you kind of switch it up. It kind of seemed like the spot duty of it was a little bit odd. But he played well when he was in there. That touchdown run was pretty impressive.
One of the things I will remind people of, and I don't know if it was people that were sitting there in the stadium watching that or whatever, but things could have been going on with Keene or whatever, needed to come out and talk to somebody or whatever. There's all kinds of situations to do something like that. So I don't think that it was just just randomly that he did that. All right, we need to take another break here. We'll be right back on Knightline at Night. If you haven't figured it out yet, I love Tijuana Flats. I would love them even if they weren't a partner with us on the Knightline Sports Network. They have all kinds of great Tex-Mex food, and it's fresh, by the way. Made to order burritos, tacos, enchiladas, chimichangas, quesadillas, bowls, nachos, and taco salads. And if you haven't tried the queso, you are completely missing out. It is the best queso that I've ever had in my life. Absolutely hands down. And the sauce bar that they have, everything from wild to mild in there. Absolutely awesome stuff. Not only do I love the food at Tijuana Flats, but I love the company, a UCF-born company, and they give back to the community with the Justin Queso Foundation. So head to your local Tijuana Flats, Tex-Mex for everyone. Hey Jeep Wrangler owners, have you ever sat in your office at work and watched the rain just pour into your Jeep because the weatherman said that there was a 0 chance of rain, or you put your doors back on because there was a 100% chance and then not a drop of rain fell? Well, there's a company out there that can help take the worry away and give you the peace of mind to be without your doors. The company's called Life Without Doors. They make waterproof rain curtains and dash covers for Wranglers. Life Without Doors is there to help make the decision to leave the doors at home an easy one. Find out more at lifewithoutdoors.com.
Spice up your company with homemade marketing services from Tasty Gravy Creative. Tasty Gravy serves up a menu of budget-friendly marketing, graphic design, and public relations services customized to your specific goals. Co-owned by a UCF graduate, Tasty Gravy can help refresh your brand, strengthen your online presence, or reinforce your company's message. Contact Tasty Gravy for help with your website, social media, marketing, advertising materials, and more. Visit tastygravy.com.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, Andrew Phegley back with you on Knightline at Night, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barr Law, assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. You can also call Travis Dever for all your new Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. We're taking your calls, 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326, or you can use the open mic feature in the WDBO app. Once again, Andrew Phegley, AP_Knightline on Twitter. Got Big Ben Stout here with me at Big Social 32 on Twitter. Roger Phipps at Night Bengal on Twitter from the Santa Rosa Beach studios. And you can find all the rest of our content on NightlineSports.com. Speaking of taking your calls, we're going to take a call right now. We got Andrew from Oviedo, our good friend, on the line. Andrew from Oviedo, my friend, what's going on today?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Just on my way back from a softball tournament, thought I'd give a call in, talk to someone I need to talk to right now.
Someone's on the ledge.
Yeah, well, yeah. Andrew, my man, it's not as bad as it seems.
Well, I hope so, because what I saw yesterday is something I haven't seen, in my opinion, since 2011, in terms of the expectations, how we started, but now how we're going. I mean, when you have 2 weeks to prepare for a team that has been running out the same offense for over a decade, I was expecting our defense to be a little bit better. But it seems, again, they're costing us more games than we give them credit for. So I was curious, is this a bigger problem than we see it is? Is this a lack of talent, depth? I'm not sure what it is, but I was not expecting Navy to drop 34 points on us.
Well, I would say that, first of all, this is a coordinator that has never faced Navy before, number one. And it's more daunting than people think that it is. And I don't even know how you prepare for it. I think the coverage was a little bit weird at times as well. I don't know if I would have personally ran that coverage. I'm not going to say I know more than coaches do, though. So they were running that coverage for a reason. What that reason was, I'm not sure, but you know what I'm saying. I have faith in these guys. I have faith that this was an oddity of a thing that is Navy, and I think the whole thing will come back around. We obviously need to work on the pass defense, which has nothing to do with this week. It was run defense, and we've been doing extremely well on run defense so far. So I'm not sure. Maybe Ben or Roger can add something more to that, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I think a lot of this has to do with players being hurt, with, maybe an off week in there that I don't know. I don't know, but I don't see this, this being the rest of our season like this. I really don't.
Go ahead, Roger. I'll let you take that.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the 34 points is concerned, the only reason they scored 34 points is because we made mistakes. This was a team loss. This wasn't a defensive loss. Now, when you stick your defense out there against a team like that, and you saw there were 17 points in the fourth quarter, what did you see when you looked around at the defense? Hands on their hips. They were tired. I mean, they looked exasperated. They had 70 running plays run against them, right? And eventually that's going to catch up to you. So had we not made the mistakes on special teams and offense, Navy would not have even had the opportunity to be in the game, whether it be the punt block, whether it be that fumble or anything else. Again, when it comes to Navy, they're the traditional GOL-esque type of football team where they're going to limit your possessions. They're going to try to play tough defense, and they're going to limit their mistakes. And if they do that and you make mistakes, they're not going to give you enough chances to beat them that way. So in my mind, you have that. Also, from a quarterback perspective, I know we've been saying that Mikey Keene did well, and he did, but he's still going to make mistakes. There were a lot of reads that I saw out there where he could have just taken off and taken the ball, and he could have picked up the 5 or 10 yards. So, when you combine that, those are drive killers, and with mistakes, when you talk about 2 turnovers against a team that limits the number of possessions and uses every single down, their percentage and opportunity to continue to score and gain yards is completely different. So I look at this as a team loss. It's just we weren't perfect enough.
Yeah. You guys know the technical aspects of defensive schemes a lot better than I do. I'll say that just watching the game, it just appeared, and Obviously it's our job as a defensive unit to take them off of their scheme, but it really did just seem like they executed for the most part their scheme to perfection. I mean, they had a couple of mistakes. Yes, we got some fumbles. That was great. We took advantage of that. But Navy, just at times watching the game, just as a fan, it seemed like it was hard to follow where the ball was, and all of a sudden there was a guy out on the outside, and he was scooting down there for 8 to 10 yards. And it just they had a game plan. They were well prepared, and unfortunately for us, it just becomes a guessing game sometimes with that triple option where we guess wrong more often than we should have maybe.
And Navy had one coming against UCF as well, because we've always beat them. They have never beat us before. This is the very first time, and I don't think people know that. So they had one coming. Look at all the teams that got upset this week in college football. I mean, it's been insane. So, sometimes it's a little bit of luck. It's not all everything else. Sometimes there is a little bit of bad luck or whatever. Obviously, we've had some bad luck lately. So I hope that helps. Don't jump off of whatever you're sitting on.
Or jump out of the car you're driving in.
So I'm out of the car, but I'm pulling away from that ledge.
Okay, man. Well, don't do anything crazy. We've got next week. I think a lot of people will feel better after next week. If not, you can tell me that you told me so and all that stuff. So we'll look forward to talking to you next time. Thank you.
Awesome. Take care, guys.
All right. Our good friend Andrew from Rovito every time brings the good stuff. Another thing is I'm looking at the team notes. We're still 43-10 in the last 53 games. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. We trail only Alabama, Clemson, which Clemson's not too good anymore. Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Georgia. Those are the only people that have lost or won more games than we have in the last 53 games.
Right.
It's not that bad. Yes, we've lost two in a row. We haven't done that in a while.
Well, I think that's the reason why that we're taking one of the many reasons why we're like kind of taking this loss as a hard one, right? Like when you see it, the opportunity out there, you see that we had it, right? Or we seem to have it in our grasp, and we've just made a few mistakes. And the success that we've had recently, I think that kind of adds up to us, kind of taking the loss really hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I felt horrible after the loss, but like. It is what it is. We got to move on, and I know the team is moving on. I know Gus Malzahn's moving on. And then also I wanted to play this Brandon Johnson, who made that fumble. I mean, it was huge. He's moving on. Listen to this.
So impressed, man. And it's so young, but he shows so much poise.
That's all right. Well, we won't play that one. That's the wrong clip. This one is on Mikey Keene, though. He was talking about how he was impressed with Mikey Keene.
So impressed, man. And it's so young, but he shows so much poise, especially in his first game coming out. And we're all proud of him, man. And coach is proud of him. And I can't wait to see what he does in the future. It's just the reps we get in practice, man. And he's been doing great from the start, He gets reps with everybody. So, I mean, it's not like we had to, form this new connection. Like Mikey has a connection with everybody already. So it wasn't too difficult to kind of pick up, where we left off.
All right. Well, I'm glad that he feels good about Mikey Keene. I messed up there and played the wrong clip. So I thought I had that clip loaded, and I don't. So we'll see if one of these guys can talk, and then I will load that clip and get it.
Yeah, no problem. Well, go ahead.
Well, one thing I was just going to add is, when we were talking about, Ben, you were talking about scheme, right? As part of this conversation. One of the things that I noticed that Navy did really, really well, you can hearken this back to Josh Heupel's offense, but just in a different way. They were trying to get a skill player on a player that should not be able to run and have that's okay, and have a one-on-one matchup, right? So you saw that a bunch of times where Big Cat was taking on a running back or something like that. Now, the thing that I noticed, Big Cat was always in position, but he either hesitated a little too long and missed the angle and didn't keep the runner inside. So that's a tough position to be in if you're a big defensive lineman against a skill position player like that, but that's exactly what they were banking on. Yeah. Now, he was running fast. He was getting people out of bounds. But that's what they were doing, is they were creating one-on-one matchups with individual larger defensive players against a skill player and betting on that skill player to win.
Yeah, and he was doing a very good job trying to keep up, but they definitely had a step on him. That was very obvious.
There was one play where he had him dead to rights on the outside, and that running back just cut perfectly back on the inside, and he wound up going up the field for 15 yards. I mean, it looked like Big Cat was about to destroy that guy, and he just made a move. And you're right, Roger. I mean, they won those individual matchups at times that were advantageous to them and really hurtful for us.
All right. I finally have the clip that I started to play in the middle of Roger talking.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So I've had a day on this show like that UCF did playing yesterday. So here's the clip. Brandon Johnson talking about that fumble.
Personally, I just got to keep my head up, man, and I take full responsibility for that play. I mean, that's all on me. I mean, they made a good play on the ball, but at the end of the day, I mean, I got to hold on to it. So I take full responsibility for that. And personally, I look forward to just hitting the practice field, man, and making the corrections and growing from this moment. But I'm going to keep my head up regardless.
All right, there you go. That's the way to look at it. He admitted it 100%. So, and he just has to keep his head up. That's what all these guys have to do. I think that's what we have to do as fans. I know that sounds kind of stupid. Fans need to do that as well. Just think before you tweet or post on Facebook. That's all I have to add.
And don't tweet at players, please.
Please, yes. All right. Got to take a break. We'll be right back on Knightline at Night.
I'm Jeff Allen. Join me each and every week on the Knightline Sports Network for the AAC Report. We bring you in-depth coverage of each school in football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, golf, tennis, and more, as well as bring you insider interviews and focus in on the biggest games and news of the week. That's all right here each week on the AAC Report, only on the Knightline Sports Network.
Welcome. This is a promo for the Take a Left at Albuquerque podcast, new to the Knightline Sports Network. You should listen to it. I say things like this. We need to stop blaming Jerry because we would do the exact same thing if we owned the Dallas freaking Cowboys. Do you know how much fun it is to own the Dallas Cowboys? My guests will say things sometimes like this.
It's the Lord of the Flies thing that happens when they don't understand that things are wrong, spoiler alert, until Piggy dies.
Lord of the Flies has been out for like 100 years. I don't even know.
Sorry to everyone at home who I spoiled the book for. A book's been out for like 90 years or something.
And sometimes, rarely though, I'll say really stupid things like this. If they don't make it out of the West and the Raptors get to the finals, I will go on either this show or whoever's show and say that Kawhi Leonard is overrated because I have too much evidence of it. New episodes drop every Friday with me and some of my good friends right here on the Knightline Sports Network.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night. I'm Andrew Phegley. We're live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barlaw. Going to get right into our Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Welcome to the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Visit TijuanaFlats.com for takeout or delivery, or visit your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. All right, Tijuana Flats, make sure you get in there and try their wings, by the way. They have wings now. Tijuana Flats has wings, and they are awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right, this is where we do our score predictions for next week's game. I do not remember what we said as our score predictions for last week's game, and that's probably a good thing. So let's just get on.
They were all wrong because we all had us winning.
Yeah, so let's just get on with this week. Ben, go ahead.
All right, so I am going to go with 38-30 UCF. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a much better showing by our defense, but I'm going 38-30 UCF.
Already, Roger?
Well, for me, I wish we still had the cannons at the stadium, but as always, Ben and I are pretty close. I'm going to go 38-36 UCF.
Okay. I'm going to go a little higher than that because I think that there's a bunch of players and Coach Malzahn, I think a bunch of people are pissed off. So what we're going to do is we're going to score at least 50 points. And I'm going to go 50-28. 50-28.
50-28. Okay.
Yeah, 50-28 over East Carolina.
Mikey Keaton's going to have a great day.
I think he is. Running backs could have a good day too. So the other thing that we need to do real quick, get this off the board, the AAC scoreboard that Jeff does, Jeff Allen does for us. Jeff does the AAC report for us on the Knightline Sports Network, and this is his weekly scoreboard.
Let's check out the rest of the action on the American scoreboard. Friday night, Houston romped over Tulsa 45-10. Number 7 Cincinnati got the job done against number 9 Notre Dame 24-13. The Bearcats parlay that into a number 5 ranking now in the AP poll. Temple took down Memphis 34-31. It was East Carolina shocking Tulane 52-29, and SMU remains undefeated as they beat South Florida 41-17. I'm Jeff Allen. We'll recap all those games and get you set for this week's contests, only on the AAC Reports on the Knightline Sports Network.
All right. Thank you, Jeff Allen. You can listen to that, like I said, on the Knightline Sports Network, anywhere you find podcasts. That's pretty much going to do it for us this week. We just got to go in next week, a home game, thank goodness. And hopefully we'll have a couple more players healthy and we can get this stuff done. We've got to turn this around.
That game is at 6:00 at the Bounce House. Night Nation, come on out to this game. Support this team. I know we're 2-2, but we got a lot to play for the rest of the season. Let's support this team and let's be loud at the Bounce House for our team.
Got Cincinnati coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah, we need to.
We'll see what happens there.
Get some momentum going in that game.
Absolutely. All right, I'm Andrew Phegley, and this has been Knightline at Night. Go Knights!
Charge on.
Charge on.